welcome. You're watching a very special edition here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and yes, we're coming to you live from a mall in Noida, the top mall in the National Capital Region. And there's a reason we're bringing you this special broadcast from here. What I'm going to do for you in this special broadcast is break down and simplify the GST reforms. What does it mean for you and me? Of course, much like me, I'm sure all of you love to shop as well. So when you go to the mall next, what should you be going ahead and buying? What becomes cheaper? What becomes a bit more expensive? I'm going to be breaking that all down for you. We have a long list of items, and I'm sure it's supremely complicated to go through that entire list, so we're going to simplify it for you. If you're planning a weekend shopping list, I'm going to tell you exactly what should be on that list. Not this weekend, because you have to wait it out for a bit. Remember that these reforms come into effect essentially on September 22nd. So we're getting you your full special guide on the GST cheat sheet. What becomes cheaper? What should you be buying now? And also, for your next mall visit, this right here is your guidebook. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Let's begin this broadcast by getting you a detailed report of exactly what the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had to say when she announced all of these changes, the GST reform, or as the government puts it, the GST gift for you and me.
This reform is not just on rationalizing rates. It's also on structural reforms. It's also on ease of living.
It was expected to take the GST Council 2 days, the 3rd and the 4th of September, to bring about the biggest reforms in the goods and services tax. But it took just 1 day for the apex GST body, headed by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and comprising the finance ministers of all states, to reach its decision on sweeping reforms. 8 years after the goods and services tax replaced a slew of central and state taxes, subsuming them into one nation, one tax, the GST Council made the structure less complicated by replacing 4 tax brackets with just 2. The previous slabs of 5, 12, 18 and 28% will be replaced by 2 slabs of 5 and 18%. There will be a NIP slab as well and a 40% slab for sin and luxury goods.
All this will be effective 22nd September 2025, which is the first day of Navaratri. The changes in GST rates of all goods, except for pan masala, gutka, cigarettes, chewing tobacco, products like zarda, unmanufactured tobacco, BD, will be implemented with effect from 22nd September 25. Except for these,
insurance premiums, both for life and health policies, will now be exempt from GST. There is also total exemption of several life-saving cancer drugs and medicines for rare diseases. Ultra-high temperature milk, chena and paneer and Indian breads like roti, chapati and paratha are also exempt. The 5% slab will include items for the middle class like hair oil, soaps, shampoos, cycles, kitchenware, household articles, food items, spectacles, man-made textiles and yarns, as well as items for agriculture used like pesticides, horticulture and agri-machines including tractors, and also on handicrafts, marble, granite, intermediate leather goods and renewable energy devices. The higher 18% slab will comprise air conditioners, all televisions, dishwashers, cars with engine capacity of under 1200 cc, two-wheelers with an engine capacity of under or equal to 350 cc, all auto parts, tractors, three-wheelers, buses, trucks and ambulances. As expected, sin and luxury goods including tobacco products, aerated drinks with added sugar, carbonated and caffeinated beverages, mid and large size cars, large engine two-wheelers and personal aircraft and yachts will attract 40% GST. IPL also moved to 40%.
A lot of industries have already come out and have committed that they will be transmitting this benefits too. Administratively, both at the state level as well as at the CBIC level, we will definitely be engaging with the industry and seeing to it that the benefits to the consumer, as is planned as per the exercise, is going to be transmitted to the consumers.
The government expects a net revenue to fall by around 48,000 crore rupees on consumption figures based in 2023 and 24. The centre, however, says the shortfall will be more than made up by the increase in economic activities.
We have estimated a figure. We expect that the net fiscal implication, we would not call it as a revenue loss because that doesn't seem to be the correct terminology. But net revenue implication of this proposal is expected, we have estimated it to be around 48,000 crores.
The GST rationalization comes at a time when the industry is facing global trade headwinds and fresh tariff hikes by the US have raised concerns about India's export prospects. Analysts expect the boost in domestic consumption to offset some of this impact. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
So those were the big announcements made by the government. Let's break it down, shall we? For you and me, when we come to the mall, what really becomes cheaper? I'm sure you all love going to the mall, like me, shopping, particularly for issues like cosmetics. In this case, let me tell you what becomes cheaper. When you go to the mall next, what can you afford to splurge on? But it's not just me, because I'm not really the GST expert here. I've got with me all these gentlemen who've made it down to the mall to be with me and break down for you your shopping list at this point. I've got Mr. Vinod Jain, Chartered Accountant, tax expert. Thank you so much for your time, sir. We've got Mr. Manoj Mishra and also Mr. Yogendra Kapoor. All three of these gentlemen will be joining me as we walk through the mall to explain to you right now what these GST reforms actually mean. I'd like to begin with you, Mr. Jain. Your opening comments in the announcement that was made, what did you make of the reforms? Was it exactly what you expected? Was it more?
I think this is far more greater reform than we expected initially. When Prime Minister announced it on 15th August, we thought they'll go do some cosmetic changes here and there, but it is not a cosmetic change, it is a very, very deep reform. And I think there's a all-around reduction in GST rates in a great number of areas, and I think they have made significant effort, not only in rate reduction, but also in simplification of registration. They're going to give you registration now in 3 days, and even GST refunds is going to come in a period of, automatic refund will come, 90% of that, automatically without making an application. I think that is what they are trying to, 2 major points. They've really worked very hard and given the reform. You know, first of all, since we are standing in front of a beauty shop, I think that there's a lot to cheer for ladies. Not only beauty products have become cheaper, but beauty salon has also, rather than 18%, will be charging only 5%. So this is great news for all the females of this country.
And men. There are a lot of men out there who are also
I know. All men will also go to the salon in any case. Now you see people like Manoj, who is standing with me, you know, a very smart guy. He has gone, possibly he has come straight away from a beauty salon, it appears. So I think beauty salons are going to attract more men as well as more women. And I think that's a great news.
It's becoming more affordable, so why not? Mr. Mishra, what do you make of the reforms right now? What do you think is the idea behind doing it? Is it to attract more people to these stores, to spend more?
See, this is perhaps what we visualize that GST would be. So, there I durust hai. So we are here now. This is the GST we look forward to. Okay, and again, as Mr. Jain mentioned, it is not just jugglery with the rates. We are actually moving towards two slab GST, and some major announcement on some like in automobile sector or cement, and these are going to create lot of employment, which will again create demand.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is something they have well thought through and well implemented. So we have never seen government is coming out with any notification within like 1 week of its announcement. Earlier they used to have GST council meeting and they'll issue notification after 3 months, 4 months, and now they have, like, in fact we are worrying as an industry. We have to worry that how we are going to implement it.
Correct.
So,
It's happened so fast.
So they have done their homework properly. They have taken states on the board, and that entire process was thorough. So congrats to the PM and the entire FM team.
Okay, congratulations to the consumers as well, because for each one of us, we get to kind of loosen up our purse strings, which seems to be also the intent, Mr. Kapoor. Do you think the idea by doing that is kind of a reset on the economy also in some way?
Before the government was how to get more money into the hands of the people.
Yeah.
Now, there are only two ways of going about. Either you create, ways of income generation in the hands of the people, or you reduce the taxes so that it's more money in the hands of the people, so that it ends up as a disposable income which gets deployed back into the economy. So what I see is that it's a very practical and the approach which was very much required at this time, and keeping in view the kind of challenges and the headwinds our economy is already facing.
Yeah.
So I also feel that when we look at the industry, in industry you will see the cost of production also going down. So it is not only going to help the domestic economy, it will also help in our products becoming internationally more competitive,
That's
which is
great.
the need of the hour.
Yeah, especially considering what we're seeing with the tariffs, which I'll get to in just a bit. What we spoke of right now is cosmetics. You can see I'm behind a cosmetic store right here. And what Mr. Jain tells us is that cosmetics, makeup products, even going to a beauty salon, all of that becomes cheaper. How much cheaper are we talking about? If, for example, Mr. Jain, I'm looking at a product that's about 2,000 rupees. Let's say a compact that's 2,000 rupees. How much lesser will it be now?
I think it will be as good as at least 10% of the final price.
Okay, that's
10%
great.
is a good, very good decrease, because I think some other adjustment of not giving input credit has been done in case of certain products like beauty salon. So even then, I think about 10% reduction you can straight away see is going to really come.
Because, very often we wait for those sales of 10% off. Now we don't
when
need
you're
to.
traveling now, you see even hotels will be now taxed only at 5%. Like restaurants are being taxed at 5%. Hotels of less than 7,500 rupees per day room rent are going to be taxed only at 5%. So I think everything is going to really bring cheers. The most importantly, the textile sector. If you see, the textile is the biggest hit when it comes to export to US. And accordingly, textile sector has been very, very deeply really looked after by the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, and the Honorable Finance Minister has looked after this sector, textile sector, very well by reducing GST to 5% across the sector, including yarn.
We have a lot of apparel.
Garments,
Yeah.
which you're going to wear, except those, made-ups which you're not wearing. Except all those things, all other textile products, there is a massive reduction to 5% rate. Whether 18% rate was there or 12% rate was there, everything has come down to 5%. So obviously we'll try and make up what Mr. Trump don't want to buy to us. We are not going to sell him. We'll consume locally or we'll sell to other countries.
This is a big, big pitch for vocal for local as well at this point. So what do you think? To you, that kind of reforms that have been brought in, it's very important for the Aam Aadmi out there, for the everyday shopper, for your grocery essentials. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways. Cosmetics, yes, beauty salon, all of that goes down. But even if I were to, let's say, go and buy shampoos, conditioners, all of that also is much lesser now.
Before I go to your question, let's get back to textiles and apparel. So now the rates of 5% would be applicable only if you are buying with the MRP below 2,500. Okay. So maybe that they could have done something because now the rates have gone up, and any usual brand which any middle class would wear, at least it should have been 5,000.
Should have been
yeah.
the limit. Yeah.
2,500 up to 2,500 it is 5%, and beyond that it would be more than it would be 18%. So from 12% it has gone to 18%.
What are you going to wear? They have exempted from this higher rate.
So let me ask you this then. You're seeing a lot of apparel stores here. What happens in each of these apparel stores? If I were to go into one of these and shop now, not now of course, come September 22nd, what does that mean? Mr. Kapoor, does it mean, this becomes cheaper, or it's not really these stores, but we're talking about different apparel? There's a structure that we kind of need to understand here.
I think it's very important that the ultimate consumer, he needs to be well educated, on the kind of changes that have taken place.
Yeah.
And I think your media plays a very important role in, disseminating that information to the people. And the more we get to know, I mean, the people get to know about the specifics. You will see the cascading effect taking, and percolating it into higher sales for the people.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. So as far as apparel goes, Mr. Jain, as far as apparel goes, if I were to go into any of these branded stores, does that make a difference? I just want to understand the point of, is there a price cut after which I'm not going to get any sort of
even for
benefit?
branded stores, in any case, in my view, I think there is a little different interpretation between the specialists. As I have read the law, it appears that whatever you are going to wear, from wherever you buy, it is at a reduced rate of 5%.
Yeah.
And whatever is other than what you're going to wear, that is going to be at a higher rate. Like made-ups, they have said, is at a higher rate. But my colleague, who is also a GST expert, very well known, he has a different view. I think this all things
less
will
than
get
24 hours. We need a bit more time to kind of read the fine print
But
as
there's a
well.
big effort. Yarn is going to go down, the basic product being used for textile. It is going to be reduced to 5%, whether it's synthetic yarn or cotton yarn.
Does that reach the consumers also? Then?
I-
If I were to buy let's say a top that had yarn in it, would that make a difference to me?
Cloth, in any case, is going to be 5%.
Okay.
So whether once you go as already ready-made product, then of course there could be a difference of view. But as far as cloth is concerned, cloth there is undisputedly 5%.
Okay, okay.
So all clothes.
Gentlemen, I'll request you to stay with me because another aspect of this is what really happens with automobiles, right? Because another big headline is that for a lot of cars, SUVs, high-end cars will get cheaper. By how much? Should you go out to look and book your car from September 22nd? Our next report by Business Today TV kind of breaks that down for you. Can you now afford a luxury car because of the change in slabs? We tell you in our next report.
Cars, SUVs, luxury vehicles and two-wheelers. The entire auto sector is gearing up to fuel festive season demand. The rejig in GST rates, the biggest since the launch of One Nation, One Tax in 2017, promises major savings for car buyers later this month. Small cars under 4 meters in length with engine capacity up to 1200 cc for petrol, CNG and LPG and up to 1500 cc for diesel will now attract 18% GST. They are currently taxed between 29% and 31%. Small strong hybrids will also fall under the 18% slab. Large cars and SUVs above 4 meters will also get cheaper. They will now be taxed at 40% compared to the current 43 to 50%. The savings are substantial. Industry estimates suggest buyers of small cars could save 12 to 12.5%. For instance, a car priced at 5 lakh ex-showroom could see a cut of nearly 60,000 rupees, while large vehicle buyers may save 5 to 10%. Auto parts will also become cheaper with a uniform GST rate of 18% replacing the current 28%. The move benefits the entire value chain. SIAM, the industry body, welcomed the decision, saying it will make cars more affordable, benefit first-time buyers and improve access to personal mobility. There is hope the cuts will help the industry break free from a period of anemic growth. Hatchback sales in the first half of 2025 dropped 7% year on year.
That growth will go back to the original 7 to 8% which we were experiencing in the past. And I believe the small car segment will also start reviving again and reach a growth rate of around 10% a year, faster than the economy, faster than the rest of the industry.
We already had a pent-up demand in August. So if you see, August was 10% lower than a normal August that we see. So clearly all of these customers were there. They are waiting for the new GST rate announcement, which has now happened. So surely all of these customers will jump in now and buy. So that's get added to the normal festive demand. Also, this year was a bit muted. Couple of price increases in luxury segment for us. Now with this price reduction, which is the other way around, we should surely see a lot of customers coming back, not only in entering luxury, but also in going for one step better. So maybe a GLE C customer may go for GLE for a GLS or an S-Class. I think that also we can see a better mix looking into the festive season.
Auto stocks surged after the GST Council's decision, with analysts betting on a revival in sales. Concerns of a sales freeze until the lower rates kick in on September 22nd have been downplayed. Dealers admit buyers are holding off for savings, but analysts point out that the short period, traditionally inauspicious for purchases, is a lean phase anyway. With Navratri around the corner, demand is expected to bounce back strongly. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
All right, so we've told you about cosmetics, we've spoken about apparel, we've spoken about cars. Gentlemen, if you can follow me, we'll just go up to the first floor of the mall because there's another very interesting aspect here. One thing that I'm truly looking forward to shopping in the next few weeks is to kind of rehash some of my electronics. Does it make sense to do it right away? Should I do it post September 22nd when the GST reforms kick in? What happens to electronics? Does that become cheaper? Is that more expensive? So I decided to come into the mall to kind of understand also from our experts of what's the best time to buy electronics. Gentlemen, what do you think? With the GST reform, does it become more expensive to buy electronics? Less expensive? Should I be buying it now? Should I wait for September 22nd?
I think Navratron ke wait kariye aap. You wait to Navratras and I think buy cheaper. Air conditioners and televisions both are cheaper.
Absolutely. They have all come down from 28 to 18%.
Get off-season discount, get reduced GST, and buy electronics like air conditioner, dishwasher.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of that cheaper.
TV.
Okay, but let me look at another aspect. I see an electronic store right there. And I think for many people, like you've mentioned dishwashers, you mentioned TVs being cheaper, air conditioners being cheaper as well. But what about my phone? If I wanted to upgrade my phone, do I see any change in those prices anytime now? Sure. The mic, sir.
It has remained the same. For
Okay.
mobiles, it's 18%. It was earlier as well. And
Okay.
at the moment, it is again going to be 18 only.
Okay, so no change in mobile
No change
phones,
in-
laptops, tablets, none of that?
None.
Okay, so electronics, home electronics essentially is what we're
Yes.
looking at. This tends to also ask me right now, when I see the way, these changes have been made, for example, the fact that mobile phones aren't cheaper, tablets, laptops aren't cheaper, and yet a lot of your electronic goods that you have at home is cheaper. Brings me back to the point that I started off with. Essential groceries are cheaper. It's almost as if they're trying to ensure that for the Aam Aadmi, there's as much respite. So even things at home, you can go ahead and upgrade. So is that the messaging the government is attempting to give?
So I'll divide it into two parts. Of course, the first part is absolutely correct that they are taking care of Aam Aadmi, and they believe that Aam Aadmi has been upgraded, so that's why you have AC reduction of GST on AC. Second, they're also taking care of US tariff, and you would have seen that automobile or apparels. These are the sectors they are focusing, or electronics they are focusing on, so that they can increase domestic demands and take care of most of the losses which incurred due to heavy tariffs and the export which could not take place.
Another point, and we just keep moving forward as we talk about apparel we spoke of. I see a shoe store nearby. Are we going to see shoes also prices coming down? And there's a reason I take this product by product because I know our viewers want to know.
Shoes, I think,
what should be on the list.
should be beware. I think already it used to be 1,000 rupees as the benchmark for a higher rate. The benchmark has gone up to now 2,500 rupees. So all shoes which are 2,500 rupees or less are going to be charged a low rate of 5%. And all higher of them are going to be charged 18%.
So if I were to buy shoes that were worth about 2,400, then I'll have some sort of benefit. If it was 2,500 and also 2,600, let's say.
They cover 95% of the buyers actually at the lower rate, because more than 2,500 rupees a shoe, only 1% people possibly will be able to afford. So whatever has been done is all the masses have been covered. See, one more major area which the finance minister has covered, of course under the guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister, is the building. Like the cement reduced, or granite reduced, or the blocks which are there used in the construction, everything is getting reduced. From 28%, all of them were as if they are seen. So this has gone down to 18% now. So naturally construction is going to go up. And who is going to benefit? every single person who is looking for his home is going to get benefited. His homes are going to be cheaper.
Even renovate your home, you're going to then.
Employment. You see, a huge number of people are going to be employed in construction,
Yeah.
and automobile contribute. This building products contribute to more than 20% of the GDP. So 20% of the GDP is a big number. This and automobile sector are two major things, and both has been looked after.
I would also like to add that, the major thing which has happened is a change in the mindset of the government as well. What was once a luxury is now a necessity. You see, we are, passing through changing times. I mean, air conditioner, if you look at as an item, 20 years ago, it was a luxury item, which very less people could have afforded. But now it's become a basic necessity. So you have to be practical in your approach when it comes to giving benefit to the people down the line.
To flip that around. So let's say, for example, I'm talking about shoes right now. The price of shoes, right? Are we keeping that in mind when we're talking about these GST rates as well? 2,500, should they have increased that to a certain amount? What do you think? Because let's face it, people's spending power has increased. So keeping that in mind, do you think that that's something they should have? Because there's a difference, like you said, between necessity and luxury now.
I very much feel so. And specifically when it comes to, consumer durables like shoes, your suits or T-shirts or things like that. In today's times, we see that an item below 2,500 is hardly a price when you look at a branded product. So the point is that if you want to give relief to the middle class per se, so it's very important that they should have fixed the limit, let's say, up to 5,000. That's what I feel.
I think their objective is not to, promote these brands, most of them being international brands and most of them coming to US, in India. So I think we are here not to promote them. We are here to promote Indian products and Indian textile. And most of these people who have been exporting outside India, they will not be having a brand here, no, when they sell it here locally. So everything has to be seen. And we're standing here in Noida or in such a luxurious place, we feel 2,500 rupees is what this small price is. It's a very high price. As compared to 1,000 rupees, they have jumped it to 2,500. It's a good benchmark.
Okay, what do you think? Mr. Mishra? How do I define right now what's a luxury good versus what isn't? If I were coming to the mall, I looked at one branded store versus another. How do I know the difference? That look, this is a luxury item and this isn't.
In the mindset. No, it's people. Why government thinks, like as Mr. Jain mentioned, that whatever he said is correct to some extent, that most of the people in India, they would not be able to afford more than 2,500. Even 2,500 is a luxury for them. But we should also think of when you are reducing GST on air conditioner. At that point of time, fixing MRP of 2,500 for shoe, I would say they could have gone they could have done a bit more.
Because my question is this, when you come to the mall, and I'm sure if I spoke to people in the mall right now, what they'd be spending when they come to the mall is easily about 10,000 rupees. And that's the spending power right now of, I'd say, middle class Indians. And that's how I define middle class. I'm not sure if I'm wrong here, but that's how I define middle class as well. So that's my question here about whether that maybe should have changed. What do you think? That yes, on some
Let's
products.
understand that way. We have come a long way. Perhaps this is not the last time. This is not the last time they are changing the rates. Hopefully, consumption will increase, and that will give leeway to the government to increase it further. Maybe today we are talking about 2,500, and if everything goes well, maybe we will be talking about 25,000. So let's wait for that day, and we hope that our people, our country grows to that much.
Our spending power. The more we rise, I think more we'll get into it.
And people who are spending power, madam, they can always spend 80%. Why are we going to really worry about them? You can buy something for 10,000 rupees, you can always pay
Tax the
18%.
rich. Mr. Jain, are you suggesting tax the rich then?
That's what we can afford.
Go ahead
Who
and...
is rich, who is not rich, I'm not going to get into that debate. It's a question of affordability. If you can afford a dress of 10,000 rupees, might as well pay 18%.
Know about that. That's an argument. I'm not sure I buy into that. Right? What do you think?
In India, we have to understand when we look at the definition of a middle class.
Yeah.
It's so very wide that it can
I
range
agree,
from
yeah.
6 lakh per annum. A person earning 6 lakh from per annum to right up to 36 lakh per annum. So you have to understand when you will look at landmark reforms, then the benefit of that should reach each and every aspect and each and every segment of that middle class. That's what is important.
Interesting. We're going to be talking about an aspect here which is very, very close to my heart. Food. What kind of changes are we going to be seeing in food? Can you afford to binge more on food? Can you afford to spend more on food? What is it going to be like? It's very interesting, the bracketing there. I'm going to talk about it, sir. Before that, because we're making our way right now to the food court, and I have a big spread that awaits me right now, and hopefully we'll all get to enjoy a meal and then talk about also what the rate changes are there. I want you to take a look at what some of the experts, political and otherwise, have to really say about the current GST reform. Good, bad, the criticism, the praise. Listen to all of that.